gonna bring that up right there.
All right, so welcome to the Extra Point Podcast, man. We back at it again. Right after the Atlanta Falcons 2022 NFL Draft. This is the recap of it all. And I got my podcast partner with me. You already know who he is, but go ahead and tell yourself.
What's going on, everybody? You already know, man. It's Rashad. You know, everybody on Twitter know me at Lil G _29. That's Lil G _29. You know me, I'm all about the birds on my page. You know, I'm always gonna keep it real. It ain't gonna be no fake. It ain't gonna be no phony. You know, we're just gonna be straight up and down with it. You know, we just had an interesting draft, to say the least. But before we even dive into that, I'm gonna kick it over to my main man, Jamal, over there on Flag on the Play. Hey man, bro, let the folk know who he is.
What's the word, man? Well, first of all, I'll just say thanks for having me on y'all platform. I really appreciate it.
No problem, man.
No problem at all.
Go ahead and let the world know, man, what you do on your channel over there, man. Go ahead.
Just a brief synopsis, you know, just talk a lot of Falcon football, a lot of football in general, whether it be college, NFL, all of that, you know. Just keep it short and sweet.
All right. Then, of course, you know, you got your boy Terrell for here. They the sports talk head over here. You know, I just play Madden, kick it back and kick everybody behind the Madden, man. But anyway, man, we're going to jump right into it. We just having a very interesting conversation. But we was giving the juice, too much of the juice. We was doing a live show before you was even live. So, first off, shouts out to my wife there. Appreciate you chiming in and commenting. We got Big Low is in the house. What in the world? But we got a superstar in the attendance today.
What's going on, man?
So, I want to get y'all two opinions on, you know, how do you think that this draft went? We're going to start with you, Flag on the Play, then we're going to go over to you.
Yeah.
So, what do you feel about it from our first pick to our last pick? What you give the Falcons, man?
After, you know, well, actually, now that I sit back and think about it, I actually love our draft. We had a very good draft from top to bottom. From the first pick on down, I felt like we got a lot of depth, especially at pass rush, which was a big need. Well, I know that's been what we've been lacking at the past couple of years, the pass rush. So, you know, I felt like we got a lot of quality depth guys at that position. My favorite pick out of all of them was probably the guy we got from Penn State. You know?
Ebiketie. Yeah.
Yes. I think he was a first round talent, actually. And getting him in the second round like that, that was a steal.
It was.
And getting him in the second round.
To me, the whole draft, okay, like I'm gonna just give you the synopsis from front to back on my take of it. And I know a lot of people will probably agree with this sentiment because, I mean, at the end of the day, we fans, you know, at the end of the day, we human. So I'm pretty sure a lot of people took it this way. Starting right off with the Drake London being the pick, I was like, I ain't gonna lie, I put my head down. I was like, I put my head down. I was like, bro, are you serious? I was like, are you serious? This is what we doing?
He was ready to get ready.
Right. I'm like, this is what we doing, man. I said, okay, so this is what we doing. I said, you know what, man? I was just like, whatever. But then, you know, I go ahead, you know, shout out my wife. She was the one who was like, you know what? She said, you know, they may be, you know, doing that because, you know, they may go for defensive talent later in the draft because everybody already knew going into this draft how loaded it was on defense. So when she said that, it started lining up with how I felt. And the reason why I say that is because right after we get him, right at 10, Jets go get Wilson. And then Saints move up to 11, go get Chris Olave. Detroit moved from 32 all the way up to 12 to get Jameson Williams. I'm like, okay, so what now happened is Atlanta started the whole run on receivers because once we grabbed one, everybody else who wanted a receiver felt like they had to go ahead and jump on it at that point.
Right.
Because
we basically forced their hand.
Because like you would have thought it got thrown off course because after we got him, Seattle went and got Cross. So, wasn't nobody really thinking about it. But then when the Jets got Wilson and then the Saints moved up and got another wide receiver too, everybody started panicking. That's why you seen the trade with A.J. Brown going to Philly and Tennessee getting Philly picked, and Tennessee went on and got Trayvon Burks. But that happened too because right before that happened, Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers was selling the front office to try to move up to get Burks. And then think about it. Before our very eyes, run on wide receivers happened way faster than what we expected. So that first day, I felt like how a lot of people felt. I was like, man, bro, whatever. So then we move on to day 2. So, I'm just sitting around, I'm waiting, I'm anticipating. Draft come on. And then when I seen we got on the Urbicator, I was like, whoa. I was like, wait, hold on now. I was like, that was my favorite pick. I'm like, that was one of the guys that I had already did a lot of film study on. And I'm like, for him to still be here, at this pick, I'm like, that's what's up, because we already said it was loaded. The draft was loaded, but it was so many guys, you can get lost in the shuffle. But when we pulled him up out of there, I said, okay, I can rock with this. And then after that, we went and got Anderson. And the reason why I was familiar with Troy Anderson was I was familiar with him from the combine. Because I remember he showed out at it. I said, who the white boy is?
Yeah, me too. I was like, man, who's white boy moving like this?
So, after he did hit 40, I was like, hold on, let me go pull up his tape. And then when I pulled up his tape, I'm like, okay, yeah, he may be a little bit raw. I was like, but he's an athletic freak. And when you sit right there and you look at his game, I'm talking about, it don't matter if it's sideline to sideline, it don't matter if it's north or south. That boy be around that ball. And when he be around that ball, he make a play. I mean, and then this is what threw a lot of people off because all them positions he played. He did a little bit of quarterback, he did a little bit of running back, he did a little dash of wide receiver, then he just fully took on the linebacker role. And I was like, okay, let's keep it going. And then when we was able, the quarterbacks, they just kept falling. They kept falling. And then when that pick came and they had got rid of, I was like, because I kept telling people, I love Malik Willis. I do. But just like them analysts had said on TV, the offense that he runs at Liberty is so simple. It may take more than 1 year of sitting down for him to grasp an NFL system. Because athletic freak, got the biggest arm in the world, you know what I'm saying? Can get from 0 to 100 real quick. But it's like we're already, got Mariota, you know what I'm saying, signed for 2 years. I was like, if they do go get a quarterback, they will at least want that quarterback to, at least have some type of leadership skills, or who would be able to sit down for a minute and then be ready to go. But the difference is with Ritter could be ready to go from day one. Because I want people to know, if you listen to Arthur Smith, he was like, oh yeah, Mariota got the upper hand because he's the veteran. But as soon as that season starts, you know what I'm saying, whoever end up winning that spot gonna be the one that's gonna be starting day one. And I feel like Mariota is the perfect quarterback Desmond Ritter can learn from, because a lot of their traits are the same.
Very similar.
But like I kept on telling people, Mariota know that playbook from front to back. Correct. He already knows it, and then he already put it on wax that whatever quarterback we do get, if we bring another younger guy in, he gonna do whatever he can to help them to the best of their abilities as well. And I was like, okay, that's kind of that's a perfect situation with that. And then when you move after that, let me just make sure, because I don't want to make sure I get nothing wrong. I know after Ritter, we went and got Deangelo Malone, and that was the one.
You mentioned his name to me before.
That was the one. I'm like, I was already familiar with him, you know what I'm saying, because him being from Atlanta. But I was like, when I was watching him at the Senior Bowl, he was showing out.
Yes.
Whoever they lined up against him at that Senior Bowl, boy, I'm talking about from front to back, giving them boys the business. And I was like,
and he was doing that against good talent too, elite talent too.
That's what people ain't seeing though.
Yes,
people ain't
seeing. He was doing that
against quality.
He was doing it against very good talent, and then you know they comp was saying baby Brian Burns, and I could see it. But if you want my honest opinion, I feel like he's stronger than Burns.
He's stronger, but his get off is
very
fast too.
It's crazy, and the reason
get off is faster than
what I like about it is him and Arnold. They two different pass rushers, so you're gonna get two different type of games, but on both sides of the ball. Because I don't want people to forget, even though we got them, you still went in this offseason and got Lorenzo Carter.
Yes,
you still got Ogundeji, who was showing a lot of growth before he got a little dinged up. And just like Coach just said, he could be better than Burns.
No, it's
true. Because I'm going to tell you, this is the difference between him and Burns. Burns, he relies on his speed.
Yes.
But his moves, they're very low. He relies on his speed to just get him back there. That's why last year, what was that guy name? That they end up losing in free agency because they signed him. The other pass rusher. He came from Arizona. He came from Arizona and Carolina picked him up. Yeah.
What's on Reddick?
Yeah. Hassan Reddick. Think about it. Hassan Reddick ended up having the more satchels because Hassan Reddick got the speed, but he got the moves too.
Yeah.
He got the speed and the move.
Wherever he go, he produced.
Brian Burns is a blazer, so he relied on his speed a lot. The thing is with Deangelo done already shown he got a couple moves, and he already showed that he got a couple moves, and the man got a decent amount of power behind him.
Just like Coach Lowe said, Malone uses his hands.
Y'all see the comment here? Now I was reading the comment. It was like Malone uses his hands and feet really good. Yes, he does.
Yes. That's why I was like, on one side you're gonna get that, and on another side you got Arnold Ebiketie, and then what he brings to the table. That man got some decent side speed on him too, but that man is straight. That man is straight hog.
And I was just about to say this: pass rush went from being a weakness to a strength now.
Yeah, I mean, you could still add more to the room because, like, my only thing is that I had put on Twitter earlier was, okay, when you go back to free agency, they re-signed Rush, and then they went and got another big guy like Vincent Taylor. They let go of Tyler Davidson, which I was very happy about. But they re-signed Rush, and then they went and got Vincent Taylor, and I'm like, them some good hog maws in the middle, but my whole mindset was going to be on what's finna get done with Grady. Yeah. And to my knowledge, I'm saying, everything with Grady, I felt like they was going to let the draft go by and then keep talks going with him. And I feel like with what they have brought in, him, if he remains here, it ain't going to do nothing but just help them dudes get better. Because I've always had the mindset of I don't want to go into the season and he's not extended. And, it's a situation where he's testing free agency next year. Now, I want people to remember this. Just because we are projected to have more than $100 million in cap space, are you willing to blow a good amount of that on someone who's going to be willing to test free agency? There's no guarantee that we'll be able to get him back. And with that not being a guarantee, you're at that point you're going to be hoping that you get a comp pick, but that ain't always the case, because I want people to realize, just one signing can wipe that out. I'm gonna give you a prime example. When we let go of Austin Hooper and all them guys, when they walked in free agency, Austin Hooper got a good size deal with Cleveland. But what we do, we go right behind them and get that 3-year, $45 million deal to Dante Fowler, comp pick gone. And I don't like to rely. I don't like to rely on comp picks.
Right. It's not a
rely on that. And I'm also at the mindset, this is gonna be the first time of me seeing us have that much amount of cap space. But do you want to be? I want people to know with Terry, from what I've seen with him, just because we had it, don't mean he finna go out here and blow the bag on a lot of people. I need people to realize that. Okay. Just because that's finna be on the books, don't expect us to go get 4-5 players, giving them $50-60 million contracts because we got that money. That you gonna end up in the same predicament that you in now.
Right.
It's like, that man gonna be smart with them books, but instead of going on this tangent, I just hope overall that an extension with Grady does get done so he can stay. I'm not saying it's gonna be no awesome season, because we're gonna still need another draft or two, what I'm saying, before they become competitive. Well, I would say competitive up to the upper echelons. Right. But I expect a physical, not gonna lay down team, that's
most definitely,
which all 4 quarters.
What is it? Let's get it, GA. He said, "What's up, fellas? We definitely had an outstanding draft. I'm really impressed.
We did.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
And if you just sit here and think about it, Terry really followed his footprints on the player scouting that he did for New Orleans. And that's why I say, I know people say, oh, he an agent for the Saints or whatever. I'm like, no. If you look at the players that he picked out, it was a lot of unknown players that ended up being their stars. And we always sat there, you should think like, Marcus Colston, he came from Hofstra, or these other players, David Henderson. Who was this?
Remember Alex? What was the white boy name? Alex.
He came from Florida.
Yeah.
Fifth
round pick.
Yeah, that's why. Like, I see, because I'm on Twitter heavy. I'm always just refreshing my feed. I stay on there because I just love my team. So like, this was brought up on
00504. What? You happy about the draft, man? Don't call him back here.
What day was it? I believe it was either Thursday or Friday. And I believe it was Friday. On my way home from work, refreshing my feed, and then one tweet had popped up, and I was like, that is happening right before our very eyes. There was a tweet from the real Pat Man. I'm pretty sure a lot of you all are familiar with him. But he put out a tweet, and he was like, he said Terry is going back to that old mode of his early days in New Orleans. He was like, with the you remember them days when it was Marcus Colston and Jimmy Graham. He said he's trying to recreate that with Kyle Pitts and Drake London. And when I thought about that, I was like,
what you think about that?
I was like,
you know what? I ain't think about that till y'all.
I didn't either.
It's headed that way. It's headed that way.
I didn't think of that neither. And I was like, one thing I realized with this team and what Terry and Arthur doing. Oh, that's my wife saying, "Hey, what's going on, baby?"
Hey, Bree. Hey, Brianna.
What I realized is you're seeing the change of this team right in front of your very eyes.
Yes,
they're moving on from that fast and physical to big and physical, straight punch you in the mouth. Because one thing got pointed out to me, well, like you could already tell with the free agency moves. You could already tell what it is they was looking for, and then the draft ain't do nothing but solidify that even more. What it was they was looking for. Well, let's get it just so you can definitely see the vision.
You can definitely see the vision and the culture of Terry Fontenot and Arthur Smith are building. I want players that want to be here and put in that work. By the way, homie, always fall, tie, fall, whatever, man. You're gonna always bring that to my attention. You're gonna always bring that to my attention, man. We know that y'all beat us. It's a wrap. It's done.
Hey, man. I don't want to put it all the time.
But y'all do got a very interesting point on that. I mean, he was telling me on the way home from work, and I ain't even sit there and realize it, bro. Like Drake London could be that quiet storm that Marcus Colston. I ain't think about it like that. And then getting Kyle Pitts, I really didn't think about it like that.
I didn't.
And then everybody talk about the Mike Evans comparison, and that very well may be true, but I do see a lot of Colston in him though. I do see a lot of that in him. I do see a lot.
He got a lot of. I mean, cause look, we ain't got nothing but time, so let's just go down. You know what I'm saying? What we have done on how you seen the model of this team change. Last year was last year.
Yes.
Throw that in the trash can. Okay. You get into this offseason, lose for you, which is that was expected.
Right.
I knew after the stats he put up, I mean, it was expected. I would have rather it had been Dion, but stuck in that contract for another year. So
kick him out the door.
Lose for you. We bring in Rashaan Evans. I already played in Dean P's defensive scheme. I already played in it, so him sliding into that mic is going to be effortless. It's going to be effortless. It ain't going to be no problems. And then you bring in, because you bringing in guys that are not very old, and then they have a lot of upside.
Right.
Rashaan Evans, to this date, his best season was playing in that system. And then you go get Lorenzo Carter. If I'm not mistaken, the last 4 games of the season, he had like 5 sacks, something like that last year. Yeah, he had like 5 sacks and 2 forced fumbles the last 4 games of the season.
Yeah, at least 1 sack in the last 5 games, 4 or 5 games.
Yeah.
Sacking all those games.
Yeah, to end off the season. Okay, so then you bring that in. And then, of
he's
course.
Still young, too.
Huh?
I said he's still young, too.
Yeah, because Lorenzo is 25.
Yep.
And Rashaan Evans is 25. I think he's finna get ready to turn 26.
Yeah.
And then you bring in on the offensive side, you bring in Auden Tate. Now, everybody was already familiar with Auden Tate because he always got hurt. But once he got to the stage of his career where he could be healthy, you had the likes of T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, and Jamar Chase in front of you.
Right.
That doesn't bode too well. Like that was
hard.
Yeah, they're gonna let you touch free agency at that point. But he's 6'5". He's 6'5". What is that? Hold on, Lorenzo. Yeah.
He's 6'5". He's young.
I had
looked like his 3rd year, right?
I think it's like his 3rd or his 4th year. Let me hear it because I remember saying that.
He's young. He's very young.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of
he's 26. He turns 27 in December. So he's still a young cat.
Speaking of Rashaan Evans, right? Bringing him in, do you pair him with Troy Anderson? Do you see how that could work? See what you can do with that?
With who?
With Troy Anderson, the guy we took in the draft.
What about him?
Do you pair them two together and see what you can do with that?
I feel like like the thing, I feel like everybody gonna have to earn their keep. And if anyone would probably have a leg up right now, it would be Mykal Walker.
Oh, but we didn't even bring him up.
But what I mean is, since if they're really going to be on this 3-4 a lot, it's going to be a situation where you deploy all of them. So it's going to have to be the likes of Mykal Walker, Rashaan Evans, Troy Anderson in certain packages, and then we already know who the other one is. Dion Jones. And my thing is with Dion Jones, the athleticism is there, the playmaking ability is there. Everything that he's shown is there. It was the lack of effort on the field, and then just being lazy at times. And that's what it was with me. All of that is still there. It's just when you being lazy and you don't give it your all.
Right.
I understand.
You win to turn it on.
Yeah, because I understand. Right. I understand when we drafted you as a rookie, we went to the Super Bowl. The year after that, we went to the playoffs. And then I understand 2018 and 19, you went 7-9, and then 2020 you went 4-12, and then last year you went 7-10. I get that. I get how losing could weigh down on you. Yeah. But at that same time, if that's the effort you're gonna give, because let's be for real now. When you got that money, you took a back seat.
Several.
and quiet as it kept, part of his success came from having Devondre Campbell on the other side.
And see, that was the one that we let.
Yeah.
I said Devondre Campbell.
Because he went to Green Bay. He balled out.
I mean, well, first he went to Arizona.
Well, Arizona.
All right. Yeah, he went to Green Bay. But the defense that Green Bay runs, helped them. And let me see what this company say. My personal opinion, when I watched Drake London's tape, I didn't see that top-notch speed. I get he's big, can make the tough catches. I just don't see the separation from DBs.
Okay, let me speak on that, right?
Okay.
I've been hearing that a lot the past couple of days. Okay, everybody talk about he doesn't have separation. He can't. Last time I checked, they said that about Mike Evans. Same thing. He doesn't have top end speed. But when you look at Mike Evans, he's always making a play on the ball. I don't care. Everybody can't run a 4.3, 4.4. So you're going to have guys that run a 4.5. Mm-hmm. He plays a lot faster than he runs, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah. My whole thing is, like, with that, and I get it, let's get it, G.
I get it. We get it.
But
yeah.
my thing is to that is, they all going predicated on the players that fit his system. Yeah, right. True enough. When he was with Tennessee, he was able to end up getting the AJ Brown, who was big, physical, and fast. And then, right. Of course, they was when they drafted him, what I'm saying, that's what it was. But all the receivers, all the big and physical ones that he get, all of them won't have top-notch speed. That's why when you have someone like him who make the contested catches, and you have someone like Arden Tate, who make these are your money guys, like on third down, and the red zone jump ball situations.
And that's all that matters to me, like red zone.
Yeah, you got to think about it. This team is more of a run team than the pass team. So trying to get the big field stretchers wasn't one they was gonna get. See, like you have receivers, Drake London, who's 6'4", 230, use him in the run game. Arden Tate, 6'5", like 220, use him in the run game. And
that run game, that run blocking should be superior.
That's what they going for. But if you want speed, you still got your guys like Bird, Zacchaeus, and all that. But if you just think about what Arthur Smith's scheme is on offense, it's not predicated on fast receivers. He needs physical players who's going to beat you up for 4 quarters. He don't care if he take 5, 6, 7 minutes off the clock. It's a punch you in the mouth, old school, get down the field. And now, if you want a perfect example of what they're going to, just think about Matt Ryan's rookie year in 2008. Think about it. We had a stone wall of an offensive line, and then we had Michael Turner. And Michael Turner beat you up all day, but you still had the ability of Ryan, just to hit you over the top when you don't even recognize it. But when you getting beat up by you got 6'6", Kyle Pitts, 240 pounds. You got 6'3", Anthony Furska, like another 240. You got Arden Tate, 6'5", another 220. You got London on the track, because that's what everybody
Yeah.
call him. You gotta let it know the track. 6'4", another 230. You got CP, who's 6'2", like another 220. You see what I'm saying? Like you got physical specimens across the board. If it's anything, if it's gonna do anything, it's gonna wear that defense down. And
let me add on to that. And it's shaping up to be more and more like what he did in Tennessee, right? Yeah. Remember when he had Delaney Walker out there in Tennessee?
Mm-hmm.
There we go. That's Kyle Pitts right there.
I'll give you one better. Like, we don't have no King Henry. We don't have that.
No,
but I remember the days of, and this wasn't too long ago, when you had A.J. Brown, Corey Davis, Jonnu Smith, and Anthony Fursko.
Yes.
You know, but my thing is, you know, even if he do have a running back room, you know, where it's going to be, you know what I'm saying, rotational guys, I want you to go back to just what it is they dealing with back there. When you go back to that room, you got Tyler Algier, who you drafted today. He's like 5'11", but he's 220. So that's a pounder right there. You got Williams. You know, if a lot of people don't remember who Daryl Williams is, you know, he was with Chicago last year. But when Kansas City won to the Super Bowl and won that Super Bowl, he was the Super Bowl MVP. That was just what, 3 years ago? You got him. You got CP, who's going to be your Swiss Army knife, which is what he already is. And then you re-signed, Olsen, and then for what it's worth, you got Mike Davis on your team, but they're gonna have to battle that mess out. But just when you just look at the size in your running back room, and I know Arthur Smith is gonna have packages for everybody. If you're looking at getting just that defense, whoever you play, gonna be trying to rotate all game because you're gonna get boys to sleep.
Let me ask y'all this: how y'all feel about the running back we took?
Oh, I like him.
Yeah,
I like him. When I went to go look at his tape, he's a ground and pounder. He's really not no person who you looking for to hit home runs. I mean, I've seen a couple of runs where he can, but see, he used to play on defense too. And this came out his own mouth. He said when he got that ball of his, he looking for contact. He ain't shying away from it. He looking for it. He looking, whoever on defense, he looking to hit them in the mouth.
Bill Lowe said, don't forget about Olsen. He was getting better by the end of the season.
Yes, he was. And he's still a young guy too. He's still gonna be hungry too. That's why I was like, man, like what they building something nasty. And then when you go back to your O-line, because I'm gonna just hit it all. So you go back to your O-line.
Do you see a running back by committee type thing? Or
I do. I don't think it's gonna be no mainstay.
But go ahead.
Because a lot of them possess just certain different skill sets.
Right.
Like Daryl Williams, he a slasher. Like he can take contact, but see, he a slasher too. And then you got Olsen, straight ahead. Tyler, the guy that we got today, he kind of straight ahead too. And then if you want to add in some of CP, CP is just multi-dimensional.
Yeah.
So, and then like when you go to your offensive line, like I ain't got no problems with Jay Matthews. People can say whatever it is they want to say about Jake Matthews, but the man has been a mainstay.
Yes, he does his job. Does his job well. That's all you ask for him to do.
I read everybody's response and I looked at, what the weaknesses would be for Justin Schaefer. But one thing about him, that man is as strong as an ox.
Trust me, I know. I synced him. I
don't care what nobody say. His chances of beating out Mayfield, they are very high. If Mayfield showed no growth from after getting thrown into the fire the way he did, Schaefer gonna take that job. And then you got to think about some of these undrafted guys that we brought in too. I ain't really caught on to most of them, but besides that, you go over to your center. I think they're gonna still try to make it battle out between Hennessy and Dahlman, but I think Hennessy may edge him out if I'll just take my guess on it. And then when you go to left guard, I'm not worried about Chris Lindstrom.
He's the all pro.
Yeah, I'm not worried about now.
Let's talk about it.
Chris Lindstrom was right.
Let's talk about it.
Right guard.
Yeah, he right guard.
Right tackle. Taylor McGarry.
2 left feet.
Now he called himself because I seen it on Twitter the other day. He called himself, working out in the off season, you know what I'm saying, trying to come back with a little muscle and all that. That's cool, fine and dandy. But you got a Fetty on your heels now. Because the Fetty gonna be looking to get that, gonna be looking to win that spot. I don't think the Wilkinson guy from Chicago will beat him out.
No.
Think so?
But I feel like he'll be a swing tackle. I feel like, but a Fetty, Jermaine Fetty, Fetty has all the intangibles of the world to beat him out. Fetty has the intangibles from front to back to beat him out. Now, this is why, even though they addressed the O-line, I wanted a lot of people to realize also why they didn't throw that many resources at it. Is because what's going on now, people got to realize this. I love Matt Ryan. Everybody know it. I love him. But when you have an older quarterback like that, sometimes he's a pocket passer at his stage of his career. Everyone knows that. He's a pocket passer, so you got to keep that going. But what works with this offense is motion. All these guys, when they kept on calling them undersized, they nimble on their feet and they better on the run.
Right.
That's just what this offense is, and that's what Arthur Smith was going to do. A lot of RPO, a lot of play action, a lot of bootleg. You can do that. Yeah, you can do that. You can do that with Mariota, and that's why I was trying to tell people, don't think that's me saying that he's the better quarterback. No, Arthur Smith offense is tailor-made for someone like Mariota. Because of the think about it, we couldn't do RPO bootleg play action. We couldn't do a lot of that because once our guys sitting right there in motion, these hog maws on defense getting after them and about to knock what's the name head off. It's a situation to where you gotta be in motion, and that's exactly what he's doing with this. That's exactly what they were supposed to be from day one. You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, I know your camera went away.
Yeah, no, I'm still here. Yeah, I hit that.
What Lo said?
Lo said, look for us to claim an O-lineman off waivers after the preseason.
I see that happening.
That's possible.
I see that. I see that happening. That's definitely gonna happen. They're gonna keep adding to it. But my whole thing is, I just wanted people to know, like now with Mariota, it's just you're going to see the difference. You're going to see the difference of how this offense is supposed to run.
Des says, do we make the playoffs this year?
Oh, that's a big leap of faith, my brother. Oh man, and when you take in, I'm honest, man. When you take in consideration of that schedule that we have, it's tough. It'll be tough to do that, but even before even making the playoffs, what I want to see, one of the things that's just what I earn for, what I need to see. I need to see competitiveness. I need to see heart, and when it's coming down to the wire, I want to be able to look at my defense, and I don't see no fear in none of their eyes. I don't see no second guessing in none of their eyes, because I got tired of those days where it's going to come down to being to the defense hand, and you can just look at them, and they already got the look of defeat in their eyes, and the offense, the opposing offense ain't even started yet, but you already got it. Once you show that off, and once the other team feel that aura from you, they was like, "Oh man, we finna hit these boys in the mouth." I'm like, I wanna see different. I love what you're saying, Dan. I love it. If they was to get there, woo!
I think they can get like
and anything is possible. But just me before playoffs, I want to see competitors.
You
I
gotta
want to
take it that
start
one
seeing.
step.
Yeah, I want to start seeing them prints on this team.
Okay, I got a question here, right? Okay. I doubt we go quarterback next year. You know, so do you go pass rush again next year, or which way do we go?
They go pass rusher
Pass
again.
rush again.
Because look, one thing about it, one thing I've learned over the years of watching football, you can never have too many pass rushers. And if you want me to give you another prime example, look at 2017 Philadelphia Eagles, who went and won the Super Bowl. One of the main reasons they was able to get to the Super Bowl, they had a plethora of pass rushers on that defense. They was rotating boys out. They was rotating boys in and out, in and out, in and out. You was getting hit with a fresh person on almost every drive.
Then look what Washington doing. They just drafted another D lineman.
But you know what? They did that because it came out that they already said they're not going to exercise what's the name 5th-year option, Daron Payne. And he's somebody who could possibly be on the trading block. I'll be all over that. I'd be all over that. I hit them Commanders up right. What you want for them?
And then look, like I know Tonio, you're an Alabama fan, so this gonna be this gonna bring a big old smile on your face. Will Anderson. Will Anderson. Is that a possibility?
I mean, it is a possibility, but I think if he do what he did last year and do it again, I don't see that man dropping out the top 5. And are we trying to be top 5? No, but if that's the case, maybe I can see us if we end up being that sorry again. I can see us getting them. And
yeah.
And you don't know how bad I wanted Rashawn Evans when he came out, but you know who was our people back then. and draft that way. So I can see it happening, though. I can see it happening.
49ers drafted pass rushers 5 years in a row in the first round. Yes, they did.
Still some dogs.
Yes, they did. And you saying they went to the yes, they did. But we all know why they lost their Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. Kyle Shanahan, he can't never get out of his way. He can't never get out of his way, man. What did he say? Yeah, man. Yeah, Will Anderson. Yeah, man. He a dog. I feel like, but to your question, Jamel, I feel like they are gonna go pass rush again next year in the first round. Because I feel like, like I was saying, you can't never have too many pass rushers, and you also, when the opportunity is there, got to take it.
They might get a Georgia boy for pass rushing. You don't never know who's gonna sprout out next season for y'all.
You might never know who hit free agency.
You got Jalen Carter coming out next year.
See, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you see what I'm saying? That's another one.
And Daz asked y'all, do you think we'll pick up more defensive linemen in free agency?
What I feel like they'll do is I feel like, however they end up getting this money to sign that draft class, they're gonna draft that. They're gonna sign the draft class, and then I feel like if whatever it is they have left over, I feel like they'll use it for insurance policy. But I want you to go back to what Big Low said. Big Low had said earlier, like about picking up guys like offensive linemen off of waivers. I feel like the same thing will go for the defense too. If it's somebody out there, that they know that they can get for the cheap, right for the season could start, and it's going to be a major need. And I can see the type of move that happen. He said,
I'm gonna read this. We're gonna kick it off to you, Jamel. 4-13 is what he predicted. I agree. I want to see competitiveness, toughness, fight, and grit put in the work and coach these young guys up, man. I'm gonna just say I see about 9 wins. I do 13, but what about you?
I close to it, not far off. I say about 7 or 8. Yeah, about 7 or 8.
Shoot, man, 4-13, you a little bit harsh on us. We gonna get worse.
Let me ask y'all this. Let me ask y'all. Let's say if we halfway through the season, right?
Yeah.
We like 2-6. We out of playoff contention.
Yeah.
You put in Desmond Ritter, see what he can do.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you something right now. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Even if Mariota goes into the season as the starter, I'm gonna say right here live on this show that they're gonna put in a couple of packages for Desmond Ritter. So he gonna see that field this year regardless. If your season is lost, they might do get a leg up on that. But another reason why I do like it is like the reason why I feel like they're gonna put in some packages for him because you gotta always keep in consideration Mariota injuries. Now, true enough, he did sit down for 2 years, being the backup to Derek Carr out there in Las Vegas. So, sometimes that do kind of, kickstart your back. But that's why I like the Desmond Ritter pick because as much as I love Malik Willis, if Mariota would have went down, that boy was gonna get killed. Malik Willis was gonna get killed because he has to sit down and learn.
And another good thing about Desmond Ritter, him playing 4 years at Cincinnati, that helps out a whole lot.
And he wasn't playing no sour ball neither.
No, he was playing good ball.
Fully feel about Desmond Ritter. Me, I think we got the best quarterback in the draft. I don't care what nobody say. For us to get him in the 3rd round, we didn't reach for him. We didn't do nothing crazy. Go get him. He fell right into our lap, man. And what he done did for the Cincinnati Bearcats, along with Sauce Gardner and all of them, but created a winning culture over there.
Yeah, he was. You know what I'm saying?
He was trying to get.
He was the head of that stable. So even when he came out, and then he was saying, I'm not gonna leave. I'm not gonna leave Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Until I win a Super Bowl. Like my thing is to win a Super Bowl. Like I believe him. We all know it's gonna take time, but you need them type of players. And my thing is, I agree with you about him being the best quarterback because what I want people to realize is. Kenny Pickett may have went first, but let's just be honest. I don't see it for Pickett. I just don't. It got more than him just having small hands. It's you know what I'm saying. It's more than that for me. And then like I already told you how it is I feel about Malik. And then you got Matt Corral. Yeah, he went to Carolina, and then Matt Corral. You know what I'm saying. There's a good little quarterback, but like. Them reports when people thought what's the name was throwing shots at him, he was like, no, these was things that was brought up, like about the man having depression. And then, he having a drinking problem off the field. All those, and that's life. You know what I'm saying? It happens, but them ain't the type of red flags I want you to have coming in.
Right.
No, them type of red flags you able to hold. Oh, bro, you good? Like that. I don't want them type of red flags. And let's just be honest. I feel like Ritter, you know what I'm saying? He's more pro ready. People gonna probably take it as me being biased because he got drafted to us. But no, even if he was the one who went to if he was the one who went to Carolina and we got Corral, I would be sitting right here making the same statement. And I'd be like, I want to see it for
like I've been saying, he's the most polished quarterback that was in this draft.
Yeah.
The most polished, the most ready.
And like what he's told me time and time and again, so I won't get naked. It ain't no guarantee that Bryce Young even come out next year. Or that we be that sorry to get him. So they saw their chance to get a quarterback now.
I was telling him that all offseason. I was like, there is no guarantee that Bryce Young and CJ Stroud will even come out. Yeah, they're eligible to come out. But who's to say they won't have no down year and they wanna sit right there and they want to be like, oh no, I ain't going into the league like this. Who's to say they don't want to stay there?
Why I thought that happened. Like even with let's say if they do have a down here, you gotta think about it. He's fresh off winning the Heisman. How much better can you get than that?
Right, and real quick,
how much better can you get from winning the Heisman?
Make sure that you hit that like button. Appreciate you below. Subscribe to Extra Point Podcast and subscribe to Flag on the Play as well, man. Yes. As another Falcons fan, he do a lot of Falcon content and he on the horizon himself, man. We got a couple of comments to get to. Actually, we're gonna start off with Let's Get a GA. He said agree with us on Desmond Ritter. Tonio, we definitely got to steal the draft.
Oh yeah, I
Agree.
think most of us agree with that.
Uh-huh.
And then we got Daz that said, I don't see a scary schedule. Most teams we play don't have a great starting QB. What y'all think?
Hold that thought. 'Cause let me-
Pull up that schedule, Rashad. Go ahead.
Now, the reason why I say that is because, like, I ain't trying to be funny, but last time I checked,
we gonna see.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure you got it, somewhere,
I
right?
got it in these photos on this tablet. Where is that? Y'all give me a second.
You might have a point there.
While Rashad looking that up, Antonio, I got a question. Right?
What's up?
Who you think was the biggest reach in the draft? I already know who I think it is.
I ain't gonna lie. Y'all might hate me, for it. But what's the dude that came out of Georgia that ended up being like the last pick of the first round, and you said
Lewis Singh?
And you said he was projected to be like a third, fourth round selection.
I was talking about Quay Walker.
Oh, you talking about Quay Walker? It was between one of them two. But I feel like it was a lot of reaching, to be honest. Especially after Atlanta made that pick at wide receiver. Like you said, you seen teams just hopping and jumping, like boom, 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 boom. We went from wide receivers not being important in this draft to now everybody just, hopping ship and like, oh, we gotta go hop on that. We gotta go hop on that. But those two players right there definitely was the two that stood out to me. Like, oh, you reached for him? He would have been sitting there waiting.
Now, the person who I thought was a reach was when New Orleans Saints took Chris Olave out of Ohio State.
You're not too big on him?
I ain't gonna say he was a reach. Like, he was a reach. Good player. I just want to took him there.
Okay,
so you think he get out the first?
Yeah, but not that high, though. Not that high.
All right, so my partner Rashad here, he got the schedule,
okay.
Tablet, man. So
okay,
lay it on us.
Now we got, of course, we got division, so ain't no use of bringing them up. But we got at Washington Commanders. We owe them from last year, so I'm just leave that at that. You got Arizona Cardinals at the Beans. That's gonna be a good one. You just don't know what Kyler Murray you're gonna get. You're gonna get the one who running around, don't know who to throw it to, or you gonna get zoned in Kyler Murray, because I feel like they are a finesse team. They are a finesse team. So you hit them, you hit Kyler Murray a couple times. He on his Sam Darnold game. He's seeing ghosts. So, but they beat us. You got San Fran at the Benz. We definitely owe them.
Right.
We owe them, but it ain't gonna be easy because of that D line they got. Whoo! You got Cleveland Browns. Now I don't know if Deshaun gonna be suspended or not, but either way,
in that case, I kind of hope he not.
You got to get them, because the last couple of times they not had your number.
Yeah,
they not had your numbers. They not had your number. You got Pittsburgh.
Rookie quarterback.
I'm worried about their defense more than their offense.
Yeah.
But I will say this though. Their offense, they got Clay Claypool, they got Jordan Pickens, not Jordan Pickens, but George Pickens, Najee Harris. They got something to work with there on offense.
Kenny Pickett don't bring them out. You got Mitchell Trubisky. I mean, I'm just saying, like, in that game, I'm more scared of that defense.
It's always been like that.
Because Miles Jack out there with T.J. Watt now and all that. Now one thing they don't have no secondary other than your boy Minka. That's all they got in their secondary is Minka.
Yeah, that's all they got.
Right.
So that's and then we got Baltimore Ravens. We got the whole AFC. What it is, North?
AFC North.
Yeah. So that's Joe Burrow.
Yeah, we got Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Woo!
Tough. That's tough.
and we got to go to Cincinnati.
I'm ready for Terrell to lock down Jamar Chase from my thought. Well, all they said about
Ooh, I can't wait for that. Ooh, I can't wait for that matchup there.
That's gonna be that's the rematch from the championship game. Like that rematch is needed. That rematch they gotta have it now. That's when it's gonna be a situation where the secondary gonna have to be on the A game because you're gonna have Casey gonna have to pick his poison. Oliver gonna be in that slot, and then
Right.
your secondary gonna have to do what they do, but your front four gonna have to do something too. Because I'm gonna tell you, if your secondary do have it on lock, the person I'm worried about is Mixon.
Yeah,
that boy done found a new life ever since Burrow came out there.
Oh yeah,
that boy,
another young Thundercat.
Boy, that's gonna be a game. I'm gonna just put it to you like that. That's gonna be a game
right there.
And then we got the Rams. That's gonna be a game. That's good. Now look, I'm gonna like it because Rams is finna. He gonna have to go against just straight bully receivers. He ain't gonna have to worry about their speed. He gonna have to worry about somebody getting physical back with him. Because he's a very physical corner. I like Ramsey, but he both ends of the spectrum. You finna run into physical receivers. Yeah. So like you go have to push back too because
you gonna have to fight them to get them out.
Because we gonna come pushing. We got Seattle. I'm not worried about Seattle. I'm gonna just keep it. I'm gonna keep it up with you. This team right here, excuse my language, but they gonna whoop our ass. And that's the Chargers.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Be for real. Come on now.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Come on now.
I'm with you on that one.
Because I'm gonna put it to you like this. You already had Joey Bosa, but you go and get Khalil Mack. And then, you had Kenneth Murray at linebacker. That's cool. But you already had Derwin and Asante Samuel Jr. in your secondary, but then you go add J.C. Jackson to that. And then, you go add on your O-line again today with Slayer. And then you add to your backfield. What was that running back they got?
I know we talking.
Got one of the best running backs in this draft to go with Eckler. I'm like, man, goodness gracious.
Pierce? Damian Pierce?
Huh?
Was it Damian Pierce?
I don't know if it was Pierce.
Look it up.
I don't know. Let me find out.
While he's looking at that, we're gonna get to some of the other comments. Dez pretty much told us the schedule. Let's get to GA. Say he's agreed with Big Low. Let's see what Big Low said. Big Low said we have a chance to build a team like the Seattle Seahawks, who took Russell Wilson in the 3rd round. We can put talent around Riddler while playing him equivalent of the vet minimum. What you think about that flag on the play?
I agree. Hey, I ain't think about that, but yeah, I can see it. Now, the only difference is their defense was already in place when they took them. But yeah, I can see that though.
I don't mean to cut that off, but it was Isaiah Spiller.
There we go.
Oh, okay, Isaiah Spiller. Oh yeah, he's a baller.
Yeah,
he's a baller.
I should know he gave Alabama a fix when we lost to him. We lost to Texas A&M, and he was the guy that was doing it to us.
Yes, I remember.
But yeah,
he's a baller.
What you saying?
Nah, I was just saying, like, it's gonna be. There's those same teams. It's gonna be like. Then none of those teams, really didn't lose. They really didn't lose nothing because even when you look at the Rams, true enough, they lost a key contributor in Von Miller. Because he played a role, but just like when they let go of my boy Robert Woods, they went and got the other one from Chicago, Allen Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
they really ain't lose nothing in their receiving room. I mean, it all depends on what OBJ was finna go down with that. But like that. Now they did lose one of their corners. He went to Jacksonville. He was the starter opposite of Jalen Ramsey.
What if they mess around and go get the Honey Badger? You know, they known for some mess like
that.
But
what's the name trying to recruit them? And I see them pushing more money down the road to go get them. I can see them possibly doing something like that. I'm just like, that team, Super Bowl champs, sometimes you can have that little, the little hangover or whatnot. I mean, we're just gonna have to see it. You know what I'm saying? Because they putting their paw prints on this team. So like I like where we headed. It's the best way I could put it. Cause I don't know if anybody thought about it, but I want a lot of people to realize Ryan Pace and Kyle Smith got
they had their hand on this draft.
Guys that we got in the later rounds. It just wasn't all Terry, because you got to think about the guys Ryan Pace brought. I don't trust him on offense, but them later guys that he had brought in with Chicago. Mm-hmm. Kyle Smith is under the radar. He was with Washington. This is his second year here as well, but he was the one who put together that D line of Deron Payne, Montez Sweat, Chase Young, Jonathan Allen. He put that together.
And they speak very highly of him too.
So I'm like, he put that together before he came to us. Like, think about it. If it was one thing that the Commanders usually would have, besides offense, would be some studs on defense on that D line. Montez Sweat and all that. He was behind that.
Yeah.
It wasn't nobody else. It was him behind it.
So I want to ask everybody this question, that's including y'all too, of course. Is there anything that Arthur Smith and maybe our defensive coordinator, like play calling wise, is anything that they need to improve on or change or, get better at?
Okay.
I mean,
go ahead, Jamal. Go ahead.
I know I kind of throw it off with that one,
but considering the situation, I mean, we basically had no number ones at all. Kyle Pitts was basically our number one. So all I want is more creativity. Now he had to work with what he had last year, so he can only do so much. But just more creativity. That's all.
What you think?
I would say.
I agree with him.
I would say, with the certain pieces, thinking of with free agency, you know what I'm saying, and the draft, I feel like on the defense side of the ball, because it is a complex defense, I'm gonna go that same route. It's just like more creativity. You know what I'm saying? I feel like with some of the pieces he got now he could start to confuse with certain looks, with certain packages, because you have multiple guys to play that role now. I mean, I want you to know, like 3-4, that may depend on, in your 3-4, that could be Grady, Rush, or Vincent Taylor, and love him.
What's buddy from Auburn that we took last year?
Marlon Davis. It could
Marlon
be
Davis.
like Marlon Davis or Taquan Graham. But then when you look on the backside with Lorenzo, Ogundeji, Troy Anderson, what we just talked about, Rashawn Evans, Michael Walker, and the lone wolf over there, Mr. Do Whatever Dion.
Yeah, I got another suggestion.
What's
like
that?
If we want to go big, right? If we want to go big, you can go Ogundeji, you can go Grady Jarrett, you can go Marlon Davidson.
No, you can. It's with what you have now, you can run multiple fronts. Because think about it. Think about all them names I just laid out to you, and I still never put in Malone or Arnold. I didn't even mention both of them two.
Right, we didn't even get to them yet.
Yeah, I didn't even mention them two.
Right.
I mentioned Anderson, but I didn't even mention the two studs that we brought in. You know what I'm saying? Like it's all about depth and looks. See, think about it. Just like when we played Tennessee in preseason last year, that perfect scheme, he blew up to what he had Hawkins in the box, and then Hawkins did that delayed blitz and sacked the quarterback. See, throughout the regular season, he wasn't gonna be able to do that because another quarterback would have seen that like, oh, he down in the box. Let me go ahead and dump this off. Now he got players to where even when I show y'all these looks, I can do something totally different.
Right.
Because Dean Pease, it's about personnel. And let's just be honest. You had the likes of, because, you know, you were strapped up against the cap. And then, you know, you just had to do whatever you had to do. But you had the likes of Tyler Davidson, Steven Means.
Oh, God.
Oh,
God.
I mean, you know, John Kaminsky and certain spurts and all that. I'm talking about, like, man, you had scrubs. You had some trash out there.
Beach Production says, "What do we think about Desmond Riddler?" We answered it earlier. We all agree on him.
Oh,
yeah.
No, you just not coming in, but we all was ecstatic.
That's
when we got him.
Yeah.
He the future, man. He the future. I feel like that right there changed the trajectory of your draft going into next year. Because I always say, I'm like, you playing the game backwards. If you like, oh, let's get a quarterback next year. Let's get a quarterback. I'm like, do you really think teams going out here tanking?
Right.
I think
not even that.
You're like them,
I
dude.
kept saying this. I kept saying this for the longest. There ain't no guarantee that we're gonna be high to take one.
Now, but my thing is, it ain't no guarantee you're gonna be that high, and it ain't no guarantee that they coming out. That's my thing.
I think that will. Who won't be high enough to take them?
No. The reason why I say it ain't no guarantee is because
what if you in number 3?
No.
I don't think
because my whole thing is not only you'll be stunning his growth, but you'll be giving up on somebody you never really gave a chance to in the first place.
Right.
You can play your cards with that though.
But okay, if you go get that other quarterback, that don't mean that another team gonna want to trade you for him because they ain't seen
something. You can probably trade back in the draft.
That's what I would do.
Probably.
Well, I'd probably stay right there and get your boy. He coming out. Will Anderson.
Yeah.
I stay put and get help.
Yeah, stay put. You see that? Stay put.
Stay put and get help. I mean, like, you know, it's gonna be, if anything, in the words of my man Toby D, if anything, training camp and all that, it's gonna be off the chain.
Oh, most definitely.
It's gonna be, you're gonna be out there and you're gonna be like, it's gonna be different because you don't see number 2. But I mean, it's time for something different. I be hating when people misconstrue what I say. It's time for a different. It's time to see something different.
And that's okay. Ain't nothing wrong with change.
It's turning into a young man's game. Because I be telling people, he did go to a perfect situation.
Oh, yeah.
He did. Top offensive line, top running game, you know, defense, middle of the road. You know, he went to a perfect situation. But I'm like, when you run into that team in the AFC who got a defense that's going to stop that run game and you got to get into a shootout, it ain't in your favor, dog.
I eat their rivals, Tennessee.
Because if it's a situation where you got to get into a shootout with Cincinnati, the Chargers, Denver, who got Russell Wilson now. Yeah.
And you know Kansas City built for shootouts.
I'm just saying, like, when you run into that team that's gonna stop that run game, you're not gonna win no shootout with them boys.
No,
over there in the AFC. No, sir. No,
now,
sir.
will they make the playoffs? Yes, they'll make the playoffs.
Them teams gonna run your defense pillar to post.
Yes.
Buffalo mess around and drop 70 on you.
Right.
So I'm like,
70 burger.
And then look at what's the name that did Miami. You got Waddle and Hill together. And now of course, you know.
Tua talking about.
Yeah, Tua. That might keep him in the game alone. Tua. And then also with them, you got Gesicki. So Miami got it. That's why I'm like, grass ain't always green on the other side.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm like, man, you know, best of luck to him. You know what I'm saying? I hope he do his thing or whatnot. But I was ready for the change down here. Because I was tired of seeing the same thing, like your team going on the field. And like I said earlier, you already see defeat in their eyes. Ball ain't kicked off yet. And
don't get me wrong. Matt gave us 14 amazing seasons, you know?
Yes.
He did. Yes. He came in and turned this franchise around.
I'm happy where he at right now.
Why would you
Yeah,
want
me
him
too.
to stay in this effed up situation?
That's thank you, baby.
If you
That-
love him that
Why
much,
would
you
you
won't
love
want him to
him
see it
that
go
much?
to that.
if you love him that much, why would you want him to stay here? And then,
Thank you.
then this was the question I posed to all the ones who was like, "Oh, they gonna stop we ain't finna be no Fiver fan no more because they tried to go get Deshaun Watson." If my memory serves me correct, that same team, Indianapolis, that he went to, they tried to get him too, but guess what? Houston
thank
said
you.
no because y'all
Thank
in the same division. When I said that, I heard crickets then.
Deshaun called us. We ain't called them.
Man, besides that, my whole thing is if you really love the man, be happy for you. Love you from a distance. Hope you do good over there. But I'm worried about what we got going on down here now.
Right.
Because truth been told, this rebuild should have happened a long time ago. A long time ago. To my estimate, I feel like 2018 should have been the year when they. Nope. Because the reason why what I mean by 2018, I mean the end of 2018 because 2015, Dan Quinn first year, you went 8-8. 2016 went to the Super Bowl. 2017 got back to the playoffs. So of course, and then 2018 you started with a plethora of injuries.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm talking about at the end of 2018 season. Going into 2019, that's when I would have been like,
but
okay.
After you did your losing season in 2019, you definitely should have tore everything down.
Oh, yeah, going into 2020.
They gave Dan Quinn another chance.
They gave him another chance. They brought in Ty Gurley. I love him, but them knees was shot.
He had 700, 800 yards, though.
Yeah, he did good. He did good, but you could tell, man.
He wasn't that breakaway,
Yeah, he won that Rams TG.
No. But still, like,
he wasn't that, but
Rams
he was still.
Talking about the Rams and your Bulldog.
Yeah, I mean,
I knew there was gonna be a problem because he came in the league with a bum knee.
Yeah, I mean, it caught up to him, but
they did that to save face. Like
it was a PR move.
Yeah,
you sell tickets and buy jerseys. Yeah,
and then you gotta realize they had just drafted Jared Goff, and they wanted to help out their young quarterback. So,
yeah, I mean, I just like after today, I won't. And it's something I'm on there, but I don't pay no attention to them dummies. I want you to find an excuse from how they handle free agency in this draft. Find an excuse on where they did something wrong. Because this man been pushed up against the cap the entire offseason and was still able to bring in all them people. You got bona fide players who literally could have went somewhere else and got more money, but they came here taking these little small 1-year contracts trying to prove themselves.
Let me ask you this, right? Because I know next year we got a lot of cap space, and either one of you can chime in on this. Okay, where do we go? Like, what do we focus on?
Depends on how the season is.
Yeah.
As far as free agency. Next year.
It depends. That was a good one. It depends on, of course, what you do in the season.
I think.
I was going to say maybe tweak that offensive line, maybe tweak it a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like that right there should be your main focus because like I'm gonna reiterate this to you, and I really want people to listen to this.
And not to cut you off, but
go ahead.
Not to cut you off, but remember when Kyle Shanahan was here, he built that offensive line through free agency.
Yeah,
he
did. He brought in Chris Chester, and
Alex Mack.
We did, and then we did that last minute trade for Levitri.
And then Levitri, yep.
Well, no, that was after Chris Chester, but Kyle Shanahan was still here when that happened. But I mean, if you were taking that route, look at what he did with that offense. We already had Julio, but he had them bring in Sanu, and then after we brought in Sanu, he brought it too. Yeah, his big free agents moves was Alex Mack and Muhammad Sanu, but then he went and told the front office to go get Taylor off of the Browns practice squad because he could take players out practice squad. They went and did that, and then Aldrick Robinson was out of football the year before, but he called him and had him come back, and then we already had I can't believe we already had Freeman, but he had them go draft Coleman. He had them draft Austin Hooper, and we already had Levine Toilolo. Like his imprints, as far as that offense, was all over.
Oh, you could tell. You could tell.
Think about it. That was the year Matt Ryan was the first quarterback because Drew Brees want to come behind him and do the same thing. Matt Ryan was the first quarterback in NFL history to throw a touchdown pass to 13 different receivers. Think about it. That happened because we threw a touchdown to our fourth string tight end who looked like an offensive lineman.
Man, listen, the tall boy could have caught a touchdown that year.
Patrick DeMarco caught a touchdown
Right.
that year. Everybody caught a touchdown.
Everybody got one.
Freeman, Coleman, Sanu, Rob, everybody. Cause think about it. Aldridge Robinson showed out in that game when Julio didn't play against the 49ers. Because they had Julio sit out 2 games against the 49ers and the Rams.
And I'm so glad, because I remember Tevin Coleman, his rookie year, he had the fumbling problem. I'm so glad we didn't give up on him because the next year, look what happened.
Man, he told Green Bay. I mean, he told who that was? Denver.
It was Denver.
He told Denver, and he was the main one we thought wasn't gonna play.
Right.
Because of his what's the name?
His sickle cell. Yep.
Yep. So they had to give him.
He had a career day that day.
Yeah, but you know what though? Like, I'm just put it to you like that, man. We building a bullet team, and this is what we need to offset all these finesse teams that's going around the league right now. You got to hit them in the mouth because guess what? We was one of them finesse teams. We was one of them. Even Super Bowl year, we was a finesse team.
We was a finesse team.
Yeah, we was a finesse team, but when they run into these teams who ground and pound, finna hit you in your mouth, they stall out. They start backing up. They start, they be like, oh,
I'll give you a prime example. When we played Philadelphia. I'll give you a prime example. Remember we played Philadelphia that year? What did Philadelphia do?
Whooped out behind.
From front to back.
Whooped out behind. Cause it was a they not no finesse team. I'm gonna tell you right now, even though this team right here up in the name can't get it right in the playoffs to stay they live, they bully you all season, and that's Tennessee.
Oh yes. Yep.
That defense is ferocious.
How you get 10 sacks, 9 sacks, and still lose?
Oh, because they offense wasn't doing nothing.
I know.
Yeah, because they offense wasn't doing nothing.
Great.
He was talking about Tennessee because when they played Cincinnati in the playoff, they sacked Joe Burrow 9 times. They lost because their offense wouldn't do nothing.
Exactly. What's the name still their head coach out there in Tennessee?
Who, Vrabel?
Yeah.
Yeah. We signed his son today.
Yeah, I saw that.
Hey, we.
That's the case, though.
Yeah, we signed his son. Yeah. The son of offensive lineman. Yeah, Vrabel's still out there. All them players out there mad at him right now though, because they traded AJ Brown.
I mean, hey, it's a business, man.
Yeah, that's why you can't get. That's why you can't get too attached. That's why I always told myself as a fan, getting attached, but it'll hurt you every time.
Every time.
You know what the trade is? It the head coach doing more so than the GM, or are they both intertwined?
My thing is with the head coach.
I think they're intertwined.
The reason why they mad at him is because when they was asking him about it a couple days in advance, they was like, "Are you gonna, y'all finna trade AJ Brown or something like that?" He said, "Not as long as I'm head coach." So you stepped in it. So even if the general manager did go behind your back and do it, you stepped in it.
Should keep your mouth closed.
Because my thing is, they're not gonna always tell you. Prime example, and the team don't have to tell you, but prime example, look at Ryan Tannehill. They hit the airwaves and they was like, oh, when they were drafting Malik Willis, they ain't give no Ryan Tannehill no heads up because they don't have to.
Right.
It's a business.
But at the same time, if I'm gonna be honest, Ryan Tannehill ain't sweating that because it's gonna take some time before he hit the field. So, but I mean, if we just gonna be honest about it, what was gonna be the purpose of telling him that? They teams do that so to keep that fire up under you, and
Right.
That's what me and my wife and me and Antonio talked about too. Think about it. That man, 14 years here, they didn't put nobody behind him
At all.
He knew Matt Shaw wasn't finna take his job. When you have no competition behind you, you get lackadaisical and you get comfortable.
He didn't say he was sorry. He just said comfortable.
Yeah, when you get comfortable, you don't. Sometimes it either be money, it either be you get your money and you don't do nothing, or you get comfortable and you roll and don't do nothing. And I'm like, and that's just the name of the game. Sometimes you can't tell from the get-go.
And like Dad said, we have some good blitz and linebackers. Oh, they're finna come from all over the place.
Mm-hmm. All kind of double A gap blitzes.
Yeah. Remember first season, the first game.
I mean, yeah, he was trying to throw some things.
Oh, yeah.
But my thing is, you didn't see that sense because he knew that wasn't gonna work. You know what I'm saying? In the regular season, like you gave Dean Pease some toys to work with now. Now he can get exotic with his.
Speaking of Dean Pease, right? Remember earlier how we were saying like Kyle Shanahan had a hand in that 2016 offense?
Yeah.
I think you could say the same thing with Dean Pease in this defense.
Yeah. That's why
had a hand in this defense.
That's why I felt like it was always an underrated signing when we got Ryan Pace. Because we all know his track record as far as like offense, but defense in them third and them fourth rounds, he gonna hit.
Yeah. And then
he gonna hit.
You remember what he did in Chicago, right? When he got them, he unloaded all them bad contracts, all them old players with bad contracts. He got rid of all of them.
Yeah, because my thing is, like, I've been a Falcon fan my entire life. What we finna have next year, I never thought I'd see the day. But you want to know why? That's because Terry came in and was just like, this ain't gonna work. We're gonna have to take it on the chin. They took a book. Now they took a page out of the book that them Eagles and Nick Sirianni did last year when they wanted to get Carson Wentz off them books. They're like, you know what? We're gonna have to take that $30 million hit on the chin.
Remember, I kept bringing that up. I was like, everybody kept saying, well, we can't afford to trade Matt Ryan because of the cap hit. I'm like, well, look what Philly did. Philly took a $36 million cap hit to get rid of Carson Wentz.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
We didn't expect the rebuild to happen like this, but it should have happened before. But it happened. Like it happened. So what did you expect? Coach Lowe said that we see the undrafted free agents. You seen it?
I saw it, but I didn't really.
I'm looking right now.
We're looking them up right now.
I know I had seen some.
You seen
earlier.
A couple of them, yeah. Let's see. Coach Lowe said there's this wide receiver that we got named Tashawn James that looks legit.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look them up because I know two of the people we got was that cornerback from Iowa, which was Matt Hankins, and of course the offensive lineman I was telling y'all about, Tyler Vrabel, which is Vrabel's son. He was an offensive tackle out there at Boston College, and we got Nate Landman. Yeah, we got Nate Landman. I'm not sure what position he plays. And I know we got a tight end and a linebacker. I've seen a couple. I haven't seen all of them though. I know it was a yeah. I'm gonna end up doing some info on all of them. Like they're talking about Lewis, Atlanta Falcons, Stanley, Berryhill the third. That looks like a wide receiver too.
Let me ask you, where did Chris Lynch's brother go?
He went to Dallas.
Dallas?
Yeah, man. Dallas.
Around.
No, undrafted. I was mad too. I was mad, bro, because I wanted him. I wanted Alec. I wanted to put him in that I wanted to put Alec in that room. I was mad, bro. Just like I'm trying to figure out if anybody picked up Justin Ross.
I don't recall. I could be wrong, but I don't think so.
I'm talking about as far as undrafted because I know he didn't get drafted.
That's what I'm saying. Like
His name was swirling around a lot, and I was like, "That's a big body person who I would have went and got."
Think about it. That could have been your number 2 right there.
Mm-hmm. Just like you know, you're still gonna have camp cuts and all that, so you always gonna have your, what I'm saying, your options of people, who you can go get. You're gonna keep them options. I mean, I just know what type of players.
I know this is off topic, but do y'all think Frank Darby will have a bigger role this year?
I think so.
I think so too.
I think he'll be involved more.
Now let me ask you a question. Do you see Calvin Ridley ever putting on an Atlanta Falcons uniform again?
Ooh, good question. Put it to you like this. Like, would I like for him to be back? Yes, because what he did wasn't like just, I've seen worse. Okay. I've seen worse. So would I like him back? Yeah, I'll take a flyer on him, But do I think he's going to be back? It's a question mark. I don't know. I can't. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, man. When the news broke out about the gambling and how stupid he was to use his name and his own phone, for everything, knowing that they can track anything these days, he might not be all the way there in the head. But
okay. That's how I know. That's how I know that depression was real. Like that mental illness was real. So he couldn't have been all the way there.
Right, and that's why when we sat back and thought about it, we really couldn't be mad that they took Drake London with that first pick. I mean, who in the world was whatchamacallit gonna throw the ball to?
Yeah, all you had at that point in time was Auden Tate, Demir Bird, Zacchaeus, and Frank Darby. That's all you had. You really didn't have nothing. Well, don't mind me.
So, do you see this defense being a top 10, maybe 15?
I can see somewhere middle of the road.
Or top 20. That'll be an improvement. Top 20.
I said yes. Anything top half of the league would be an improvement. Even if he's 40th, that'll be an improvement. You can't get no worse.
We should definitely expect to see more sacks. Hopefully.
Yeah.
We had 18. That was the league lowest, wasn't it? 18?
Yep.
Pitiful.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, you can't get no worse.
You right about that. You really can't get no worse.
Can't get no worse. So all the way is up. Now you got better players. So it's all about putting them all together. Putting it all together.
Yeah, you got, know what I'm saying? Yeah, you got to put the pieces together, man. You got to make all of it come together and work. And I just feel like, I hope it does, man, because like I'm gonna go to a few games or whatnot. So I'm gonna need to see something. To see something. I like what they're putting together. I like it, man.
Me too.
It's different. Like you building the bully. You know what I'm saying? That's how you build a bully from the ground up. Because I know some people were like, like when they was, trying to clamber down on the best Taylor pick, that we picked up like 2 weeks ago. And I'm like, they're not having him come in here being the starter. And it's not just about being no camp body either. I'm like, they're trying to make it to the point where you ain't even gonna try to attempt to run down that middle. Because if you do, you finna run into a wall. And they got that speed on them edges too. So when you bounce to that edge, I'm right there waiting for you.
Right.
They trying to make you stagnant on offense. And when we get on offense, we trying to kill that clock.
Thank you.
And then these big boys that you got now, I think it's time, and I think that you will see it's jump man time in Atlanta. especially down there in that red zone. It's jump man time.
Oh yeah, it's alley oops.
It's time to put that ball in. It's time to put that ball in the air. You got to let the ball go up there and get.
It's alley oops down there.
Drake London, high point.
High pitch. I'm throwing alley oop.
Auden Tate, high point. Hell, even Cordell be getting up there, high point. And you got to think about the other big body that you got in first. You know who's gonna get up there and get that ball. Like it's time when we get down there that 20, that 15. It's time to put that ball in the air. And then them boys thick too. So it ain't gonna be easy for them to try to push you out while you going for that ball.
Right. I told you it's gonna be alley oops.
It's
gonna
time.
be alley oops down there in the red zone.
It's time for it because these boys love running through contact too. So don't get ran. So don't get ran over trying to think you finna get a little good tackle off.
And another thing, while we talking about receivers with Drake London, like even though he's big, his yards after the catch is very underrated. Like
I seen the one play where he looked like he was 25 yards out from the end zone, breaking tackle after tackle after tackle after tackle and getting to the end zone. I was like, bro, what do you see that at?
Yeah, that boy big, and you can tell we having guys, who gonna run through that contact.
And then
you pack a punch on defense, but I pack a punch on offense too. I'm finna hit you right back.
Right.
Another thing I like is he played basketball. So with that basketball background, that comes in handy with the 50-50 balls.
Think about it. In high school, he was basketball teammates with your boy who played for the Hawks.
Okongwu.
Yeah, him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they had told her because draft night, they was texting each other because they were high school teammates for the basketball team. Hold on.
Yeah, him. It was him. LaMelo Ball. They always on the same team together.
Yeah, they was always on the same team. Then when you really think about it, since y'all talking about basketball, basketball presence, you got people in the NFL, history like Tony Gonzalez. He played at California. You had Antonio Gates that played basketball. You had Jimmy Graham that played basketball. You got all these receivers and tight ends that when it comes to me being in the end zone, that ball in the air, that ain't nothing but a boxing out.
Boxing out and get a rebound.
High point. Get the rebound, high point. So I think that's going to help either Mariota or Riddler in that case to where they got receivers that you can put it anywhere in the frame diameter of them. And they still got a great, even more than a 50-50 chance. Because let's be honest, Drake, he going to be going against maybe cornerbacks that's 5'11", 6 foot, 6'1", maybe 6'2" at the highs.
I don't know which commentator said it. They was like, I know they say they call them 50-50 balls, but with him there was 80-20 balls. Like I was like, yeah, they were. 9 times out of 10, if it's up in the air, he was getting to it.
And I seen man, look. He showed me shades. I know that they compare him to him, but he showed shades of Calvin Johnson too.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, with the body frame. Yeah,
with the body frame, the leaping ability, the high point. Calvin Johnson wasn't the fastest, but he was running through that content, and
Calvin Johnson was very fast.
Calvin Johnson was fast. He was fast enough. So
he was like 4.3 fast.
Right, so I like that. Arthur Smith, just like Rashad just said. Okay, we're gonna hit you in the mouth on defense,
right?
But we about to hit you in the mouth on offense too.
Yeah,
you're gonna feel like our defense on the field when it's our offense.
Yeah, yes. And we bought Rashad bought this up early. It's gonna bring us back to the Michael Turner days when Mike Mularkey, ground and pound, punch you in the mouth.
Oh yeah, I think it finally feels good to finally have that confidence in a team that's going out physical to other teams, or like punch them in the mouth. It gives you a feel like Pittsburgh, Baltimore, or just like real, like Scrappy said, like real head busting this thing, man. So
I feel like we finally Terry Fontenot finally got his vision.
So what is your predictions on the Atlanta Falcons?
Record rise or
Record wise, look wise.
I think overall, more physical, more competitive. I see more fight. Not quite playoff contention yet, but give it about 2 years and we headed there. You know, we finally got us a nucleus.
Yeah, I can
We gotta
agree
keep
with
building on it.
you on that. I can agree with you on that. And I think what was holding us back, I'm sorry to say, is what, we kept number 2 around. And as long as number 2 was safe,
yeah, I agree. Like,
as long as number 2 was safe, everybody was safe. Because they feel like if we can't lose this job, we can't lose ours. And nobody was afraid, especially under Dan Quinn, of, like losing their jobs.
right. And I felt like Dan Quinn was too buddy with everybody, too friendly. He didn't hold nobody accountable.
Yeah, and it looked like our head coach is an a-hole.
You need that though. Yeah, I'm with that. I like that.
Yeah, it seemed like that Arthur Smith is just like not a real a-hole in a bad way, but he's very like no nonsense. I guess we get that vibe, from him. And it's good that I think Holman went out. But it's good that he is like that and he is like not like Dan Quinn in a way.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I feel like sometimes you need a little. Some of the best head coaches got some a-hole in them.
Yeah, we ain't gonna see no situation where it's an onside kick and our team afraid to get the ball.
That should be a fire right there.
Like, come on now.
Off the blank too nice. Sometimes.
On the blank
Like,
is so nice. It was a while that I wanted him to go, but he gotta resign himself. But
right,
it was a point where I was mad at off the blank. Like, okay,
like you allow this to happen. Like, but back to like, if you look at some of the best head coaches, Bill Belichick, you go to the college level, Nick Saban. What they all got that no nonsense a-hole type of attitude, but their players love them though. The players love them and they want to play for them.
And you gotta think about it. Shoot, Kirby Smart got it in him too.
Yes. But look where he learned that from though.
That's exactly why I say that, man. Like, we cool. We're a little buddy, but when it comes to on this field, you better be, doing what you're supposed to be doing here.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm talking about. That's the feel that I get from Arthur Smith and Terry.
Yeah, no nonsense.
Yeah,
especially Arthur.
No nonsense.
I feel like dapping you up when you don't miss the tackle.
Oh yeah, right. Drop the third down pass.
Yeah, I'm here for it, man. I can't wait to see the outcome once it's all put together.
I was just asking him what type of team that you're looking for the Falcons being. And he said, being that team that's going to be able to punch you in the mouth, like on both sides, be physical, not be afraid of nobody.
Right.
Oh, they talk a little smack too.
Yeah. Competitive front to back, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, more competitive.
Like start changing.
I do see a change of culture. Culture shock.
Start changing that memo around your team. You know what I'm saying? Make other teams in the league know, they finna come for 60 minutes and they ain't finna play no games with us.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Let everybody know you coming for them.
Right.
You know how much better they are. You don't care about this, you don't care about that. You just know, hey, when we're on that field, we going to that thing, hit double zeros. Let's get it.
They're gonna be in for it, y'all. They're gonna be in for it. And I think one of the most underrated signings that we did have, nobody expected it to come, but AJ Terrell got a running mate now.
Oh yes,
There ain't no Fabian Monroe coming at you. You can't just throw it over there. Now,
Yeah.
can't throw it in the middle either. You got Isaiah that proved that in DP system, he can be that guy for that nickel. So what you gonna do?
I think because you look before Isaiah Oliver got hurt, he was doing very well in Dean P's scheme. So I think if we have a repeat of that, I think we have something.
After we're gonna see.
I can't wait, man. The future is definitely bright. Future is definitely bright.
Flag on the play. We appreciate you coming on the show, man.
Man, I appreciate y'all for having me.
Yeah, we know that you've been waiting for weeks to get on here, man. So
hey man, time is of the essence.
And tell the people where they can find you at, man.
Okay, you can find me on Twitter at I_am Janelle. Subscribe to my channel, Flag on the Play. Also, if you want to keep up with that, my other Twitter is Flag on the Play 10. Just all that. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, please. I need more support. Everybody support me. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, man. Okay.
All right, y'all hear that? Go subscribe to Flag on the Play, man. One of the new content creators like us.
Yeah.
Just like us, we're trying to get our eyes up too,
But yeah, it's all of
they can find you.
We all the brotherhood. No pun intended, but we all the brotherhood. We all support each other.
Yeah, at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. And y'all already know, man. But me, find me on Twitter at LilG29_. Again, that's on Twitter at LilG29_.
All right, and for me, you can find me on Terror Artist 404 YouTube. If y'all play Madden, y'all like watching Madden videos, come over, let's chop it up and holler at me over there. And if you want to play me, Terror Artist 404 is my gamer tag too. So I'm ready for all the smoke, man. But we appreciate you coming on, Flag on the Play.
I appreciate y'all for having me, man.
Oh yeah, man. Nothing but love, dog. Nothing but love.
Oh, right, Antonio. Oh yeah, Antonio. Before I go, I want to say go Dogs.
Y'all got it for 1 year. We coming back for our throne, man.
Y'all running back. Y'all talking.
Who?
The Bulldog.
Man, what you talking about? Let me tell you something. When the Falcon get it, I'm definitely talking.
I'm gonna be right there.
I'm definitely talking. I'm like, man, I'm like, look, your 6 rings don't mean nothing about this one I got.
Exactly.
Thank you.
I'm trying to tell you. I'm gonna get ruthless with it, boy.
All right, y'all.
All right, boy.
Oh, yeah. Until next time.